Okay, family, this video is designed to show anybody that's interested in how to use Cash App to actually fund their co-op account. The first order of business is when you open up, now this is not going to show on mine because I've already got Cash App enabled with it when it comes to Bitcoin. But if you go down here to where you go to your balance, if you scroll your screen up, see where it says Bitcoin? Now, if you have not already enabled Bitcoin on your Cash App, you'll hit right here, and it's going to pop up to say enable. It's going to say enable withdrawals and deposits. Then you're going to have to go through a verification process. That verification process, I've seen it go through as fast as 20 minutes, and I've seen it take as long as 24 hours. They'll have a person that's enabling Bitcoin on their Cash App, which means they're just requesting that they can buy and sell or receive and send Bitcoin. They're going to have to go through the verification. They're going to upload their driver's license. They're going to take a selfie. They're going to do all that stuff because Cash App has to know that you are who you say you are. So, for example, let's just say that I enable Bitcoin and now I've got cash in my Cash App, right? And of course your Cash App, most people know how that works. That's connected to your bank. So if you put some money in, for example, so the first thing we're going to do is this fourth icon down at the bottom. If you count from left to right, the fourth icon is this one. You're going to buy Bitcoin. So for example, buy Bitcoin. Now I'm just going to buy $1,000 worth, just as an example. All right, next. Put my fingerprint, confirm, boom, I purchased it. So now I've got $1,989.53 worth of Bitcoin. Now, here's what's going to happen at this point. So now you know you have the money here, right? So now we're going to go into co-op. All right, now watch how this works. Very simple. This is what a new person will do. So you all know, many of you, I've taught you how to actually sign a new person up by hitting the thing that says register a new donor. Most of you, if I personally brought you in, you received a video that showed you how I put you in. That's exactly how you'll put them in. The only difference is that if they're going to use Bitcoin through their Cash App, then you won't have to send them money from your co-op wallet to theirs. That's the only part that you would eliminate. But so what you'll do is you'll log in. Here's how this works. I'm going to actually send $1,000 to my co-op. So I'm going to log in. Once you're in, you're going to hit the 3 horizontal lines, right? Then I'm going to go to co-op wallet right here. And then I'm going to hit add funds to my digital wallet. So now let me tell you a little secret. Well, not a secret, but a little trick. Most of you are starting at 1,100 or some of you started at 600. Either way is fine, right? Obviously, the higher you can start, the more bonuses you can catch for people coming in under you if they start at your level or lower. So that's why we always say stretch as hard as high as you can in terms of what you start at, just so that you can catch more bonuses, right? So, for example, if I was getting started or you were getting started and I'm putting you in the system, then I would put $1,000 here. Now you might say, well, Steve, why 1,000 when it's really 1,100? Well, because when you're putting in like $1,000, it's going to have a $100 surplus fee. That is not an extra fee. That's just putting extra money in your wallet to make sure that you don't go through paying processing fees and then end up short of what you really needed. Because if you sent exactly 1,100 and then all of a sudden the $1,650 in fees came out and you end up with $1,000 and 80 something cents, then you'd have to go do a whole nother transaction and that will cost you money. So this is a smart thing the company does. They add a surplus. This is just going to end up in your wallet. They want to make sure you don't have to go back and do a second transaction and have to pay additional fees. So notice I put 1,000 in, but I have more than enough for the $1,100 worth of purchases. So what's going to happen is now I'm going to go here and I want to go to, let's see, hold on. Let me refresh this because sometimes it'll do this, but I want to make sure that I can find Bitcoin. So if I do $1,000, I want to grab it while sometimes the window doesn't open clearly see that little. I'm gonna turn it sideways just for a minute, you guys, because see this little arrow over here, the blue arrow. I have to hit that. So now, okay, so now let me turn it back. The reason I did that is because I want to send Bitcoin. So notice the default is USDT. That's just a certain type of cryptocurrency. However, if you look right here above where it says awaiting deposit, and you look where it says USDT 20, ERC20, over to the right, there's an up and down arrow. Hit that because it's going to open up the 100 plus choices of cryptocurrency. Bitcoin happens to be the third. So I want to select Bitcoin. Now watch what's going to happen. See up here where it says send 1124 of USDT. Watch this change to Bitcoin because I'm selecting Bitcoin. So I'm going to hit the done button and watch the USDT change to Bitcoin. Boom. So now here's what this is showing you, family. It's showing you the exact amount of Bitcoin, which is 0.02932. That equals $1,134.97. So you don't get confused. You want to send the exact amount of Bitcoin. So the other thing you got to look at is right below the QR code, there is an address. This is the wallet address that Co-op is saying, send your 0.02932 worth of Bitcoin to this address. Notice the address is 36VC2N blah, 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 right? So I want to either, if I've got two devices, I can actually use the QR scanner, but to make it simple for all of you, if you're doing all this on your phone, which most of us are on the go, so I'm doing all this on one device, obviously, right? I'm going to hold down the address. See? So now I can copy it. So guess what? Now I know exactly where to send this Bitcoin. Now I'm going to have to remember that 0.02932 amount. So now let's go back to CashApp because this is what we're going to do. So if I'm going to CashApp, so now I'm looking at my Bitcoin and I want to go to, let's see, you go here, go to Bitcoin right here. So I've got $1,900 in Bitcoin. So what am I going to do? I'm going to send Bitcoin. So notice, I'm not selling it. I'm not buying it. I'm sending it. There are four things you're going to do in Cash App at any given time. You're either selling Bitcoin, you're buying Bitcoin, or you're sending Bitcoin to somebody, or someone's sending you Bitcoin, so you're receiving. Those are the only four transactions generally that you'll do in your Cash App. So I'm going to send my money, the exact amount that Co-op already told me what to do. I'm going to send that to that address. So remember, I copied the address. So what am I going to hit? Send Bitcoin. So now I'm going to go up here and I'm going to put the amount. First of all, let me go back and I'm going to say, look, 0.02932. 0.0, what was it again? 2932. 2932. That is the amount that I'm sending. Now it's going to say send, right? And then I'm going to put the address. Remember, I copied the address. So now I'm just going to double click. And now I put that address. Always look to see if the address is the same and the amount, right? I take a screenshot usually. So I save all this stuff just so you have it. But notice 2N72 blah, 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 right? Let's go back and look and see. Is that where they're saying to send it? No, that's not correct. So let's copy this. Copy. Let's go here. Oh, that's it right there. That's it. Okay, so it was down there. So see, this was a perfect example of don't just think it's going to work out. You have got to verify everything. So now I can look at where it's going. It says 2 and the address, 36VC. I go back and look. What is that? Yep, 36VC. That is correct, right? So now the amount, what is it? 0.02932. Is that correct? 0.02932. Correct. So now I'm going to hit next. Then put your passcode in. Select your withdrawal. Well, let's do 10 minutes. Might as well 11-cent fee. Next. Okay. Now look at this. This shows you the address. What should you do? Take a screenshot. But it shows me the address. It shows me the amount. All that looks great. 10 minutes. I'm sending $1,100 worth. Confirm and send. Done. You initiated a withdrawal of the exact amount. So now if you go, see, now they just took it. So the balance went down for that exact amount. And if I go back here, this is just going to say awaiting deposit. So what happens is you just wait. And then once you wait, this is going to turn into, it's going to say finalizing, and then it's going to say finished. And that's going to close out. And when it closes out, then those funds are going to end up in that person's wallet. Once their funds are in their wallet, that's when they're going to go in, and you got to teach these people how to pay for each of these things. Let's go through that really quickly, and then I'll come back and see if this got finalized. So look, so if I go back to, okay, this is co-op. So let's do a new window maybe, right? Let's do a new window. Plus, right? Okay, co-op. Okay. So if I log in, right? I'm logging in, okay? So now, once their funds, now to check their funds, all they have to do is go down to their co-op wallet, and then this is how you always see what your balance is. If you go to co-op wallet, you want to go to my wallet transactions right here. Everybody see that? Okay. So my wallet transactions, boom. So see those, that 1,100 has not hit yet. So, right. So I couldn't put them in for $1,100. However, when it hits, it's going to be in there. So then what I would do when the money hits is I would hit these 3 horizontal lines, and then I'd go to the dashboard. Now look what's going to happen. Once you go to the dashboard, right, you're going to go to CoopCrowd. You see, okay, so yeah, it's not dashboard, it's right below. CoopCrowd. If I hit the CoopCrowd, which is the second one below, because the first thing you want to teach everybody to do is get on the 3x10 matrix. That's the CoopCrowd matrix. That's the one that is a force matrix. We don't want anybody to not be on that. So they'll hit CoopCrowd. Look at the first choice, purchase CoopCrowd tokens. So if they hit that, how many tokens do they need? Just 1. That's it. So then when you hit proceed to pay, it's going to be like 85 bucks. That will get them straight with the CoopCrowd. So they'll be on the 3x10 matrix. Then the next thing they're going to do, right, is they'll go to dashboard. And then mine is already done because I'm in all the wheelhouses, but those 25, 50, 150, 250. So if somebody does 1,100, just know they're going up to the $500 wheelhouse. That's what that means. Notice 500 plus 250 is 750. 750 plus 150 is 900. 900 plus 50, 950. 950 plus 25, 975. Then there's a $30 license fee, so that's $1,000. Then there's about $85 to get on that other matrix. So that's why I quote the price $1,100. So it's kind of an a la carte. You got to pay for these things individually. So what's going to happen, and I can't show you this on here because I'm already in the wheelhouses, but you would end up this 25, 50, 150, 250, and 500. All those numbers would be blue. So you'd have to start with 25. You can't skip to 500. You got to hit the 25, and then it's going to say upgrade. Yes, I confirm. Then it's going to say success. Then you go back to the dashboard. Then the little 25 is going to be up, and then the next blue one is 50. Then you're going to hit 50. Then it's going to say confirm. Yep. Then it's going to say success. You do that up until 500. Now, if they got in at the $600 level, you would only do that up to 250. 25, 50, 150, 250. But if they got in for 1,100, 25, 50, 150, 250, and 500. So hopefully this makes sense. So now let's see if the money hit. This will be great just for training purposes if the money has hit. So let's go to the wallet. What did I say when you want to see your balance? Go to wallet. Go down to what? My wallet transactions. Okay, has not hit yet. So if I were to go here and go back in here, it's still saying awaiting deposit. So that's okay. It just lets you know it's going to go. But when that's finished, that's going to turn green, and that's going to say complete. And it's going to say invoice has been closed. Then you go back to your wallet, go back to wallet transactions, and then you'll see that $1,100. Then what you'll do, for what that person will do is pay for the 84 and pay for the wheelhouses up to either 250 or 500, depending on whether or not they got started with the total of 600 or the total of 1,100. So I hope this was helpful, and this is exactly how a person would use CashApp to fund their co-op business. Hope this helps everybody.